This is one of the bundle of the Exy Hair. It comes wrapped in a hairnet. It is a lot, and they break it down in sections. Look, it's one, I think it's 4 pieces, and it breaks down pretty good. I think this is the hair that dudes be using when they go bald and they be getting them a little quick weave and a little nice fade going. This is because they got some real good wave pattern on in here. You can kind of see where the next one is breaking off at. They do give you a lot per bundle. You can kind of see right there where I'm pulling at. You can kind of see where, you know, where it was merged at. That is a lot of hair per bundle. It comes with 6 little slabs. Y'all see that? And it has a very nice wave pattern. I wanted you guys to see how much hair it is in. Depending on what you're doing, I would recommend 4 to be on the safe side. But if you're just doing a little bit of repairing, like I've been showing you guys, I probably would even buy it in a single and probably get 2 packs. Exy Hair again. Hey, Laws. I got about 15 of them things in there, and you really can't tell unless you all in my head, and you can tell which ones is like a little bit curlier than, you know, my hair. But they say it begins to soften the longer you have it in. I got Retie in here with me. Right. Reti's hitting her 1 gear. We will be doing her retie for you guys in a lock count, okay? I installed Retie micro locks a year ago. So me and Retie in here, she was asking me, how do I know if this is truly human hair that I'm adding to my head, right? Y'all know how human hair burn, right? So I figured let's do a lighter test, right? So there we go. Let's see if we can. It do burn like that. And it smells like Easter night. Easter, the night before Easter. You know, when the hot combs on the stove and you getting that shit pressed. Yeah. It's burning like human hair, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning, my loves. Have you gave yourself your confirmations with the affirmations this morning? Have you already declared what type of day that you choose to walk in this Sunday morning? I'm going to let you guys know now that I am recording these videos in pieces, okay? So don't talk about me. We are wishing you great vibes, positive energy, awesome health. I'm already knowing that you guys gave yourself your enoughs today. We're going to be repairing my hair with Exy Hair, okay? I'm going to attach a link in the description box. I'm also going to put in a discount code. It all will be in the description box. My back is really not damaged like the front, like I've been sharing with you guys from all the hair dye. I'm losing my tips, and I got my little smiggities popping up. And even the ones that do have them thin and tips, I'm going to be using this Exy Hair that I have here, right? It is Kinky hair. I'm going to attach the burn test that I did to prove that it was human hair, because me and Retie was like, right? It's soft. It merged so well. I did a few of them already because this is being recorded backwards. So I'm going to attach when I did add them in. These little curly pieces is the Exy Hair right here, right? They say that once it's in for a while, eventually it becomes softened, and I'm not using as much because I'm really just repairing locks with it, right? So if you guys tired of losing your tips or your locks are starting to thin, this is a great alternative without steering too far off of your journey. I still want my journey to be all me, if that makes sense, right? So I'm also attaching a video about the bundles where I can actually show you guys better. Again, I'm recording this backwards. So what we're going to do is my retie, right? I'm retying my hair, and I've been asked before, how do I manage to retie my own hair? So it's like 2 birds, 1 stone, right? So let's get turned around. Let's see if I'm in the, okay. I am a filler. I don't really use the mirror in front of me method. I kind of just feel my way. And I do use the shorter tool that I already shared with you guys of how I prep it, okay? A couple videos back, I got to learn how to put the link. I actually going to try it this time, putting the link in the description box of me showing how I prep this needle, okay? So, I'm a filler again. Once I know the lock, I usually go a full 360 around it just to make sure it's not merged with no other locks. Put the hair through the needle. I do a 2-point rotation. So my rotation is in the fashion of a lowercase t. Some people do the 4-point rotation where it's actually like an X. I like the two. The two actually started loosening it for me. When I say loosen it, 4-point rotation is so uniform and so tight that it was even more of a hassle of covering my spots, my peekaboos. So I feel that if you're just jumping in, your hair's thin, go with a 2, maybe a 3. I do kind of recommend starting a 4 and switching, but I'm rambling. Let me show y'all. All right. I do a T. Go in. That's the one I want. Filled around the lock. I just dropped it. There we go. Whatever rotation you choose, that's the way you're going to keep going, okay? That way you don't create no holes within your lock still, okay? Again, I'm a filler. I kind of just feel along my way along the road, along the path. All right, that's the one. Lock in. Again, I do mine in the lowercase t, so I go in to the side, then I go straight up and down. And to the side, straight up and down. All right, that's the way I get mine in. The filling method, sorry y'all, it works for me. The mirror, I don't know. I can't concentrate long enough to look in the mirror. I like watching TV, singing, running my mouth, talking. So that is the way that I do my own reties. I kind of just feel my way all the way through until I actually get to the front, because again, the front is the more damaged. And it's not just because of the hair dye. It is the more damaged because that's the way I also jumped into my journey. If you guys recall, I didn't cut my hair even. It was already thin in here and thin in there too because of the half weaves and the glue and the comb to the wigs. This spot was already damaged and I jumped in my journey anyway, okay? Because she did. But anyway, I'm going to attach the video again of the repair. Of the repair. Y'all know what it is. I'll holler at y'all later, loves. Good morning, good morning, good morning, my loves. I finished my Retie last night. I haven't did my hair wash yet, and I gotta go in with that little pokey tool and form the ones that I did add a little to, right? You can kind of tell, but see, my smiggly miggy not sticking up either. You can tell the ones that I did add with the Exy Hair because of the texture. You see them? So there is about 15 added in. Unless you really all up in, I think it blends well. Now, because my locks are so tight, I had to do the method of adding it on like a braid, right? If you have more cushion within your locks, that pokey tool, if you wrap that Exy hair around the lock and then poke, that will help repair them thinning spots too. It's just that my locks are so tight that I can't really get it in there. So that's why I chose the method that I did. Let's do a spin. I have not washed my hair yet, so I will be jumping back on once I crinkle my hair to see the way it really blend and to actually see the way the Exy hair held up in the midst of me washing. I'm hoping it don't slip. All right, so this is that retie. I do a full spin for you guys. It's kind of tender because I always know I added one in the back too. Them are Exy hair as on. I didn't do the full back row, but I did do that nip right there. I go that side. And it blends. I believe it blends. But I'm going to get back on later and really show you guys once I crinkle my own hair. I have to go to work. Look at them size, y'all. I'm not doing much with that either because I had to go to the night job. I came home, I finished my retie, and I'm sleepy. I am. So I'm going to use one of these scarves for today, honey. Right? And I'm going to show y'all what I be doing with these little scarves. I just give me a little piece like that. Right? Bam. A scarf will go a long way, especially if, you know, you don't use it often. Remember at one point in time, I was rocking the scarf a little too much to the point. Again, I believe that added to the damage that I was experiencing at the top of my head because I was smothering it. I wasn't letting it breathe. I had a scarf on every day. So it's like, how? Y'all know. Them beginning videos always had some kind of scarf. So, you know it ain't nothing right here. So I leave me this little tail, right? I get me a bobby pin. I put the little tail behind my ear, right? And I get this bobby pin, then I slide it right on up into the scarf. See how see how I attached it to the little headband? So that kind of keeps it in play, and you can't even tell, right? So that's how I do my little swoopity swoops, right? And the same thing with this side. Sometimes I would let that side just go ahead and be what it is, but since I didn't do no, you know, no swoop up with the toothbrush, if that blow or anything, they gonna see that. Yeah, and then the same thing with this side. And I swoop it up right on into that scarf, to my headband, and I push the rest up behind, you know. Bam! Hey! All right, y'all. I'm going to wash this, crinkle my hair up too. And so far, I think this Exy hair is just what it does. Especially if you can do the pokey tool just to merge in between. People with more traditional locks, I do recommend this Exy hair for them mostly because that blend will be nice. Micro locks and sister locks, I believe that it can work. I believe you just have to find your own method of how to do the attachment just based on the size of our locks. You know what I mean? And even in once we are actually locked in, that spiral hits a little different of trying to get the attached hair in between. So it would have to be the either braid, like a single method, or the attachment at the end. You know, I like the attachment at the end because eventually I can snip that on off. You get me? So I'm not really stuck with it, okay? I'll holler at y'all in a few. Good morning, good morning, good morning, my loves. affirmations and confirmations this morning, I wanted to make sure that I pull in this video, right? I wanted to make sure that I give you guys my upfront honest opinion, because throughout the video it's kind of mixed signals. 1 minute when I first opened it's like, oh, the next minute it's like, wait, what? But to tie it all in, I do have some of it here. Again, it is the Exy Hair, right? I believe that for traditional locks, this is great because traditional locks has more of a fatter width. So that way you can actually do this pokey tool and extend your locks in the most natural form as far as the pattern of your locks, if that makes sense. Traditional locks are thick enough to the point that you can even do this little pokey toy with this Exy Hair, and you can fix thinning locks or the width of your locks. Sister locks and micro locks, it is so tight because of the size of them that it's hard to even really poke this extension hair into the lock. So you either have to add it on like a single, or you're going to attach it to the tips. It's thin enough to the point that can be done. I believe in the midst of some of mine, it was the size of the Exy Hair that I was attaching to the size of the locks. I also feel that the texture of the Exy Hair does not match the texture that's growing out of my head, if that makes sense, because it still has that fresh curl pattern. If you're going to do the Exy Hair over your micro locks, sister locks, I recommend going single form over your whole head, so that way all of the locks are matching. So right now I have two different patterns going on, and you can't tell unless you're in my head, but it did take away my little smiggity miggity. So I will use that hair to hold down them little tips, you know what I mean, and cut them off and keep it fresh that way. But I don't think that I will be letting it lock in within my hair unless I was on the path of doing my whole head. And I want to stay as much on my natural path, my own pattern as possible. Yes, it is human hair, because I did do a human hair test with the lighter with the hair. You can dye it. It is nice. It is kinky, right? But even though it's human hair and it's kinky hair, it is still hard to mimic our hair that grows out of our scalp. I think once we cut it and do what we do with it, it just takes away something. I don't know. I think it's hard to really mimic the way our hair grow out of our head 100%, if that makes sense. I will highly recommend Exy Hair. Again, you have traditional locks, go for it. You have locks and you're wanting to go all over your head in single method with the Exy Hair, go for it. You want to add extensions to your locks and you're going to do more than just portions like I did, go for it. Now you only have a couple thinning locks. It's okay to do the Exy Hair because it will help you strengthen them locks.